Okay guys, how is everyone? Just thought I'd nip on for 10 minutes to say hi from the Campervan. It's getting a lot colder here on the moorlands of northern England. It's temperature now, let's have a look. In the van, because I've just got back in it from work, it's 5.9 degrees. I've got a candle heater I've built which has 12 candles, and I'm going to light this, leave it for half an hour, see how much that raises the temperature of this van. Because I have a lot of comments, I've had these comments of people worrying and concerned that I'm too cold in this van, because they can see the condensation from my breath, and a candle heater isn't going to be enough. But don't worry, I do have powerful power stations which run very hot heaters, so when the real cold sets in I will use them. The candle heater is just more of an experiment really, but it is cozy, and when it's not too cold, I mean 5.9, 6 degrees, I like that. It's very cozy and it gives off a lot of heat. It's basically a heat brick, 12 candles in a metal cage, a heat brick, and this brick gets too hot to touch. I've had a kettle on there and it has almost boiled. I made a coffee, I cooked some risotto. It gets too hot, it really gets hot, and when you blow these candles out, that brick stays hot for hours. It really does, at least hot for a couple of hours, then very warm. Convection fan, I've had that running on there blowing the hot air, and even when you blow the candles out, that convection fan runs for a good hour. So 6 degrees, well it's just going up now, 6.1. That's probably because of me being in the van and a bit of body heat. It's well insulated. I'm going to light these 12 candles with this heater for half an hour. Let's see what temperature it gets to. So there we go guys, all 12 lit. And it's been cold all week. I haven't been lighting 12, I've just been lighting 3. That's been warm enough. It really has warmed up this brick to where you can't touch it with 3 candles. It really gathers the heat, whatever the physics is behind that. I think candle heat just left to disperse in the air disappears quite quick, but if you capture it with something like this, it really does work as a heater. So 12 lit. And before I lit this, it was 6.1 degrees. We'll see how that goes up. It's cozy, it really is. If I put these lights out, give me a sec. If I was to sit here in this candle light, chilling away, editing my videos. Very cold outside, and this week I've heard the rain on the van. Very relaxing. It's siren going past there, but it's really has gone cold, and it's supposed to snow tonight. It's just let the siren pass. This is what happens when you sat in a van and not in a studio. Live things happen, but the snow's supposed to come, and if it does come, I'll get out and film it for you guys. But so cozy. When I've had a day at work, I'll just sit here and let me show you a second. Southern Comfort. Is that in shot? Southern Comfort. Very relaxing. On the downside is at the moment I'm on the main road, so I'm parked up on the drive of the house where my son lives. And if you are new to the channel, I moved in my van. I've got baby monitors in the van so I can hear my son because he's inside with his mum. I want to make sure he's okay. And he's only young and he has autism. And me and his mum aren't together anymore, but there's no way I'm leaving my son, but I do need my own little bit of space. So it's like having a little caravan in your garden. That's all the way I look at it. This is where I'm living now. Very cozy. Right, get these lights back on. One on, let's get 2 on this way. There we go. So I'll set these. How long has this been recording for? probably about 4 minutes ago now. It was 6 degrees. .9. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. But get it from this angle because this is my little cosy corner. And what I do now is read a few comments you guys have sent in about the channel. Right, I've got these comments here. I'll get my glasses. Hope it does snow tonight. I love the snow. I remember last winter on these mirror lawns, it were deep. It were well above my knees. I went down into town, there was nothing there. We seemed to catch it up here. And I was setting trail cams up, looking for footprints, paw prints, I should say, from the big cats. There's lots of them are seen around here. I don't know, I just love going hiking in the snow. It's refreshing. You wrap up, it really is, on one of them really, I mean, a lot of people must know what I mean, them really ice cold days. You know, I mean, around the world, but in the UK you need a good northerly or northeasterly wind, and the air is crystal clear, freezing cold, absolutely brilliant for sky watching at night in the winter. The skies are pitch black, the stars are crystal clear. I love that weather. I mean, I love summer, I love going camping and everything in the summertime with kid, but I do like that weather. That's getting lovely and hot, and I will be trying to cook more things on this, some sort of breakfast. I won't cook straight onto the top of the heat brick, keep that nice and clean. I'll put a pan on, see if we can cook some toast, egg, bacon, bit of an English breakfast, maybe some steak for dinner. We'll experiment and see if it works. It should do, it really should do. If we can boil a kettle, which I set, what it was that video, I set the camping kettle, this one I've got here, and filled it halfway up with water, put it on. I thought I'd give it an hour. After an hour it was steaming, but it wasn't quite whistling, and if the water's boiling it will whistle. It wasn't whistling, but it was almost, and sure, another 10 minutes it would have done. I poured it into the sink because I was testing this in the house. It was piping hot. Made a coffee, no problem. Definitely make a coffee. And cooked my risotto again, took about an hour, and that had prawns and salmon in, which was raw, cooked through properly, so I'm sure it will cook all sides. Just chilling, guys. I'm going to read you a few comments. Give me a second. Apart from this, I'll show you. I've got these curtains drawn. I've got my bed. I'll just put the light on. Give me a minute. That's my bed. You can see how cosy that is. Bit of dust on at the moment because I've been doing a bit of sanding. Just working on a couple of things. Not very cosy. And I must have, well, not I must have, I know I do have 6 sleeping bags in there. I've got a mattress, proper mattress. I've got a camping, well, it's a mattress in its own right, it's like a camping mattress, not a blow-up one, like, which goes on top of the mattress. Then I use 1 sleeping bag again, and they're all double sleeping bags to lie on, and 5 sleeping bags on top of me. How can possibly be cold? And I wish you could feel the heat of this. I wish you could feel that heat. That. I've never been so cozy, to be honest with you. Never been so cozy. I'm going off the timer on the GoPro, but I have switched it off a couple of times. I'm going for 10 minutes have passed now, and we're on 7.6. Let's see what half an hour does. What time are we on there? I turned this like this probably about 10 minutes ago, so we'll say I've lit it at 10 past 9. It's 20 past 9 now. Just let me double check that. Yeah, 20 past 9. So that's after 10 minutes, but it takes a good 10 minutes for this heat brick to get hot, and that's when you really get the heat coming off it. Anyway, stories. So So I'll set this camera up, get my glasses on. Very cosy, very cosy. Let's have a look at some of your comments whilst this candle heater does its work. You can see a lot of condensation being exaggerated by these lights behind me, I would have thought, but we'll see what happens. So Cliff Fix John, hiya Cliff. Cliff comments a lot, a great guy. We might have a walk up Pendle Hill together one day. He has suggested that'd be great. Hello boss, just got home from seeing a band in town and I see you have posted a few videos. Totally agree with your rant about the authorities and taxes and high prices. Yeah, it's ridiculous these days. We are slaves to the system, sadly. Sadly we are. There's not much people can do about it. Maybe people can move in vans and things, but it's not ideal for everybody, is it? I am pleased to see you are back in your happy place. Love these videos in your van. I hope you find some rural places you can park up. I am really impressed that 3 candles got the temperature from 8 degrees to 14 in 20 minutes during the week. It did, but easily only like 3 candles. That's enough just to take the edge off the temperature. But we're getting a bit colder. Thought I'll light the lot just for a little time. See what that does with the temperature. Be careful next week though, the temperatures are really dropping. Well below freezing at night. But you have it all under control, Mick, I think. Thumbs up. Cliff puts, look after yourself, choose and kind regard. Well done Cliff, thank you for all your comments and your super gift donations. They are great. Yeah, used to go all over in this van and only up until the last about a month, always back and forth to Wales around Pendle Hill. At the minute I want it parked up on this drive and I want to make sure I can hear Kate just for a couple of weeks, because I have ventured out a couple of times and the problem is around here there's very few parking spaces, and it's happened a few times where I've got back and somebody is blocking the drive, not completely blocking the drive but enough, you know, when the back end of the front end is just there and I just can't get up onto the drive with a van, so I've had to park down the road and I don't want to be doing that. I want to be able to hear Kate with these monitors just for the first couple of weeks or so, and obviously hear his mum, make sure everything's okay. That is a problem around here. Actually, there hasn't been an instance where I've got back and somebody's completely blocked the drive, and I don't know the laws about that. I think you can park in front of somebody's drive if there's no vehicle, if you're not preventing somebody from getting out of their drive. But if there's a car or a van already parked on the drive, you can't. I'm not sure, I might be wrong. I'd personally never do it. I think it's wrong. If someone's got a drive, you leave it clear. But I think it's just careless parking really. Nobody's actually blocked it, but they've parked enough of the car in front of it so I can't get. Maybe I could get a car on. Struggle with the van, that's the problem. Great video, Mick. This is just Paul. Hey Paul, have you got plans for winter in the van? I mean when it gets real cold. Yeah, plenty of well, not plenty, I've got a couple of strong power stations and good heaters. So these comments are from my last video in the van when I was testing the temperature again with just 3 candles, and I think I was just having a chat, telling a few stories. Great channel, Paul, by the way. I've watched some of your videos. Thank you for being here. And Robertson 5744. Stay warm and well, Mick. You can see how cold it is from your breath, but like with this video. But I'm always wrapped up in winter. I love wrapping up in winter. So I'm warm without any of this. I keep myself warm anyway. So it was a wild night last night. I live in the shadow of Pendle Hill. There are many spirits around me here. Roman soldiers are constantly walking around the house and the land, and it was a settlement. So I feel very protected. It's interesting. Imagine living in a house and having land which was an old Roman settlement. So I think this video as well, just let me check. Yeah, it was. The first storm in the van. I was testing the temperatures, the wind was howling, it was raining hard. Couldn't get out really. Out filming it was too bad. But that weather, that's what this video is. That's what these comments are. Ghost of York. Harmick. Storm Claudia. That's what the storm right. I couldn't think when they were talking in the van, and I didn't want to guess in case I got it wrong, but I don't know why they got to name storms in this country. I was trying to copy off America, where they do get some real storms. We used to go all over in the campervan. Had many over the years, mainly Ford trannies, smiley ones. Yeah, remember them? Used to like candles like you to take the nip out the air. This is for really. I'm just interested to see how much it does warm a van. I know it's not practical to use all the time, and it won't be practical to use when it gets really cold, because on these moves last winter, -10 quite regularly, got down to -15 a few times. So when it's 4, 5, 6 degrees, it's not too bad. Plus, even if it warmed the van by 15 degrees, if it's about 5 degrees to start with, you've got 20 degrees Celsius, so that's great. If you're on -15, you're going to take it up to freezing or +5. You want it warmer than that. Anyhow, went all over the UK until they started clamping on areas where you couldn't go and stay overnight. They've done that in a lot of places. They're still doing it. Even the services started charging, and also all coastal areas, car parks, charging silly prices. Must say, put a dampener on getting out. Yeah, this is what they seem to be doing, putting a dampener on getting out. I think I mentioned in another video, somebody from Canada commented saying that you can drive around, park up anywhere you want, you can do what you want. I think the only restriction, the thing where you need permission is if you want to stop and build yourself a house like a log cabin, you need permission. Apart from that, you can park up in your van, you can live in your van, park up anywhere. And I think Scotland and the UK is a lot more relaxed with anything like that. I think Wales is a bit more relaxed than England. It's getting worse everywhere. Cookie, Burke, Heister, 7227, hi Cookie. Comments regular, absolutely love all of your videos, keep up the good work. Thank you Cookie, hope all's well over there. Good to hear from you Mick. Says Ophelia Grove 666, I think I pronounced that right. Stay warm, stay safe in this wild weather, thanks for sharing, I will do. Dylan Holm, the camper looks very cosy, glad you were able to stay warm inside. Definitely, even though you can see that it's exaggerated by these lights. I can put my hand down now, it feels nice and warm, it really does. Skywatcher 211222, Skywatcher, stay safe out there my friend, life is an adventure, definitely. And this guy, Skywatcher, he's got a Silence camera, he's been out filming, caught some great things on his camera, some great time-lapse videos of what's crossing up there. It's amazing amount of lights crossing up there. And that's great. This is the storm video when I was sat in the van with the storm, testing the temperatures. Skywatcher has commented on here, so just check out the comments and have a look at his channel. Easiest way to find it. I very rarely put links anymore in the descriptions, because I always say I'll put a link for this, a link for that, I end up forgetting. It just complicates everything, but I will do on some things if it's important. If it's I don't mean important, I mean if I've been collabing with somebody, obviously I'll put the link down. Tina Partridge 9303, do keep warm Mick, I know you're a tough outdoor guy, but when we sleep our body temperature drops. If it gets really cold, have you thought about electric blankets or a good old-fashioned water bottle? Take my hat off you to you for staying close. Big Cat's 100% out there, nothing paranormal, just as you said, people let them go, and there's plenty of food out there. It's definitely hot toddy weather, stay safe. Agreed with all that, people let them go. I don't think they're anything paranormal, that's just my opinion though. And they've survived with bread, plenty of food about. Electric blanket, I thought about that, could plug that into the power station. If it gets really cold I will do. Hot water bottles always work well. Someone mentioned a big metal jerry can, filling that up with boiling water, and they said just put that in your van, put the lid on so the steam's not escaping, and it acts like a heater and it stays hot for a long time. Isn't it an idea? Safe way of doing it, no flames and all that. As with, you know, this is safe if you're with it, and it's safe if you've got the carbon monoxide detector, you've got a fire extinguisher, you've got some ventilation. It's fine. I'd never obviously leave these burning and leave the van. I'd never go to bed with these burning. It's only for when I'm sat here for an hour or so in the evening. It takes the edge off the temperature, and it's cosy. That heat, I really feel that's lovely. It really is. It takes the edge off. It really does. And if I leave the van, never go into bed, blow them out. I give it a minute, make sure they're blown out, because occasionally candles can reignite. Make sure they're out, and this brick stays white. Like I said, for so long, it's great. John Hunter 8737. All part of the control that this bunch of tyrants want the British people, for the British people. They want us in the box, working all day, glued to Netflix or Sky, jabbed up with the annual government drug. With a digital ID required, all digital transactions. Doesn't come close to describing. Doesn't come close to describing the horror to come. Basically, yeah, I agree with that. Things are going to get a lot worse. A lot worse. I thought in this video I was just in the van because it was a storm and I was testing out the candles. I think I did have a rant about the system when I went over to the Yorkshire Dales to a place called Burnsall. There was a place a fireman had set up a park up, and he had set that up. A little bit of land, his land, the campervans to park up, £3 a night, £18 a week if you wanted to do a full week. Usually it was popular. The local businesses were pleased with it, they loved it. The lady who owns the cafe there has a campervan and selling, she said it's great, it's bringing a bit of trading because it's a very quiet little area. And then apparently some of the locals disagreed and got the authorities involved. The National Park, the National Trust event in the park, got them involved anyway, and it got closed down. But I think there's an issue with that because there aren't many locals there. We mentioned this in the video. Most of these cottages, little bungalows, are all holiday cottages now. They've been, you know, a lot of these little places now, not many locals at all, apart from the odd farmer, and they've been turned into holiday cottages. So I'm wondering which locals and how many of them have enough power to get the authorities to close this down. So I don't believe that story, to be honest with you. I think it was just closed down like a lot of other places. Tough. C1D hypes your video, gas bills are expensive, etc. Don't blame you, exactly. Kev 2474, when a man says fuck it and moves back into his van. There's a woman involved somewhere a lot. I laughed at that when I read it. There is more to it in my case, obviously, but I know what you mean. There is. So I'm reading the comments from the video. I titled Vanlife staying warm and cooking. I'll show you how good this is. A pan of risotto. It took an hour, but it cooked that. And that risotto has chunks of salmon in it and prawns, and it's overall cooked it brilliant. Storms are here, so that's what was in that video, and I was having a bit of a rant, as you can call it, about basically the authorities wanting to have everybody accounted for. Everybody needs a number. You need to work full time to your 70, and then to your 80 you need to pay a mortgage, you need to pay rent, you need to pay council tax, ridiculous prices for bills. You need nothing left for yourself, so you can't go out and enjoy your life. Basically, that's what they want. That's what I think anyway. But there we go. I'm not going to rant on about that. Check these temperatures in. Okay, so I've got the convection fan running from the heat. Very hot is that brick. It's blowing out some warmer. It definitely takes the temperature off. 14 degrees from, what was it on? 5 degrees, 5.9 up to 14 in half an hour. That's not bad at all. I think 3 candles took it up to 14. degrees in about 20 minutes the other day, but it started at 8 or 9 degrees, so a few degrees colder. So that did take it up by 6 degrees the other day, and we started let's say 6 degrees today, and that's took it up by another 8 degrees. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's half an hour. But I have sat in this van for a good hour or two, well, a good couple of hours with this on. Only been using 3 candles, and that's taking it up higher than that, so it definitely works, and that's great. It really is. Anyway guys, please do like, share, subscribe. Lots more videos coming up. Snow in the forecast. I'll be out and about filming day and night. You all take care. Thanks for watching. Speak soon.